Humor is part of being human. Everyone finds things funny for all kinds of reasons. It seems like we laugh at both errors and triumphs. We laugh by ourselves and in groups because everyone else is too serious or because everyone else is too silly. And sometimes it seems like we laugh for no reason at all. We've wondered about it for a long time. We've proposed a lot of ideas, and they each clearly have something true about them, but none has ever been fully accepted. So what's so hard about it? Well, there's a lot of things about funniness that have to be explained. Like, where'd it come from? Why does it feel good? What's that sound we make? And the big one, what really makes something funny? Like we said, most explanations run into apparent contradictions as well. Theories based on fails or wrongness.
Things are funny because they mix the real with the absurd.
Run into difficulty with these.
Crossover. Slam. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Whereas others often get too far away from our everyday experience. So, we know what we're looking for. The first thing to look at is the most obvious, failures. But we hit the first problem. Why would we make noise when someone fails? Well, it turns out that there's a potential natural purpose. Making people lose status. If we don't have language and can't tell each other what happened, then this is necessary. We have to organize our social group. And since it can cause fights, and that's bad, it would explain why we would feel pleasure and smile to signal no threat to others. So we've made progress already, but not so fast. What about puns? They don't seem to include anyone losing status, and in fact, people can gain status with them. So we see the difficulty. But reason tells us that sometimes if you find something that fits a lot of things, it's more likely that you simply misunderstood how it fits the things you're missing than that the whole idea is wrong. So we keep thinking, and we stumble across something important. You see, really, a pun is actually verbal misplacement. Like having your shoes on the wrong feet. You sense that someone tried, but put something where it didn't belong. So it does fit the idea. But what about the second example? Well, the more it explains, the more we look to see how it can work in other ways. And we hit something even more important. It turns out there are actually at least 4 reasons that we can laugh at something. 1, first person, laughing at yourself.
I'm just gonna do this. It's a really stupid move.
Then second person, laughing at a person who is interacting with you. Like if someone gives you a bad pickup line.
I enjoy long walks on the beach.
Yeah, typical.
Then third person, laughing at someone who isn't interacting with you. Like if you see someone slip on a banana peel. And finally, fourth person, laughing at the errors of someone who isn't there. Like when you see a car parked badly. You can laugh in any of these ways, but the key is that we don't necessarily realize which one it is. This, for example, is why bad jokes can still be funny. I can be trying to make you laugh at a made-up third person, but it can be so bad, so unfunny that you laugh at me, at my failure to find a good joke.
A condom? Why do you use that thing?
So we can be confused because we think the joke is unfunny and yet we're still laughing. But we just don't realize why. And now we get back to this. It seems like the commentator Isaiah Thomas was laughing at Michael Jordan's success.
Oh my God!
But actually, he said earlier that he thought Michael was getting old and had lost his athleticism. And this dunk showed him that he, Isaiah Thomas, was wrong.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Alright, let's keep going. What is the laugh reflex? Well, if laughter is demotional, based on failures, then it probably started when people would do things like fall down. And when people get hurt, we gasp. So it seems natural that a twitch of the breathing muscle could just become multiple twitches, which would evolve due to the way it signaled others. Unless, of course, we felt anxiety, since the involuntary sound would be dangerous if we're being hunted. Now, this brings us to something pretty important. What is the most basic thing that causes something to be funny? In this idea, it's simple, but may take a few steps to see. Something is funny when it makes us notice something worse than we expected. Not just something bad or low quality, but that actually violates our expectation. If you're checking someone's accounting and find an error in the numbers, that won't necessarily be funny because you expect that there might be errors, which is why you're checking. But if you noticed something that violated what you were taking for granted, like seeing that the books were written in crayon, that would be the type of thing that could be funny, because you fully expect that the person can write like an adult. Now, why is one thing funnier than another? For now, we'll say there's two measures. First, how much worse what you notice is than what you were expecting. Like, for example, a stuffy gentleman slipping would be funnier than a toddler slipping. And secondly, how many worse things are you noticing at once? If you notice an error in more than one person, you will laugh more. And that's the core of it. And this fits with all kinds of things we find funny. Pranks, farts, memes, jokes, and more. And we'll get way into that next.